Do you want to know how Blockbuster went from the top to the nothing? Well, here is the real history. On 2004, one company dominated the movie rental industry. More than 9,000 stores across the world. Millions of people visited its stores every week. That company was Blockbuster. But just a few years later, everything collapsed. Thousands of stores closed. And the company filed for bankruptcy. The shocking part is that Blockbuster once had the chance to buy Netflix for only $50 million. A decision that would later become one of the biggest mistakes in business history. So how did the biggest movie rental empire in the world disappear? Let's start from the beginning. In 1985, a businessman named David Cook opened the first Blockbuster store. At the time, most video rental stores were small and disorganized. They often had very limited movie selections. David Cook believed customers wanted something better. He created a store with bright lights, organized shelves, and thousands of movie options. The idea quickly became popular. Soon, Blockbuster began opening stores all across the United States. During the 1990s, Blockbuster became a cultural phenomenon. Families visited stores every weekend to rent movies. By the early 2000s, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores worldwide. It served more than 60 million customers. The company generated billions of dollars in revenue. At the time, it seemed like Blockbuster was unstoppable. But a small company was about to change everything. In 1997, a startup called Netflix was founded by Reed Hastings. Instead of renting movies in physical stores, Netflix used a different model. Customers could order DVDs online. The movies would arrive in the mail. Even better, there were no late fees. People loved the convenience. Slowly, Netflix started gaining more customers. But Blockbuster executives did not take the company seriously. In the year 2000, Netflix made a surprising offer. They proposed selling the entire company to Blockbuster for $50 million. Blockbuster declined the offer. They believed their retail stores were too powerful to fail. At that time, Netflix was still a small company. Blockbuster executives thought their business model would last forever. But technology was about to change the entertainment industry. As internet speeds improved, Netflix introduced something revolutionary. Streaming. Instead of renting DVDs, customers could watch movies instantly online. No trips to the store. No late fees. No physical discs. People could watch movies from their homes. This completely changed how people consumed entertainment. Millions of customers switched to streaming. Blockbuster tried to respond. They launched their own online rental service. They even introduced streaming. But by then, it was too late. Netflix had already built a strong reputation. Blockbuster was also dealing with massive debt. The company had spent years expanding physical stores. Now those stores were becoming a huge financial burden. Customers continued leaving Blockbuster. Stores began closing across the country. Revenue dropped dramatically. In 2010, the company filed for bankruptcy. Thousands of Blockbuster locations shut down. What was once the largest movie rental company in the world had collapsed. Meanwhile, Netflix continued growing rapidly. Streaming became the future of entertainment. Today, Netflix is one of the largest entertainment companies in the world. All because it embraced innovation while Blockbuster resisted change. The fall of Blockbuster teaches an important lesson. Success today does not guarantee success tomorrow. Companies that fail to adapt to new technology risk becoming irrelevant. Even the biggest businesses can disappear. From more than 9,000 stores worldwide to just one remaining location today. The story of Blockbuster is a powerful reminder. In business, innovation always wins. And sometimes, the biggest mistake a company can make is believing it will never fail. Blockbuster's biggest source of profit wasn't movie rentals. It was something many customers hated. Late fees. If someone returned a movie late, they had to pay extra money. These late fees generated hundreds of millions of dollars every year. In fact, at one point, late fees made up almost 16% of Blockbuster's revenue. Customers often complained about this policy. Many people felt frustrated when they had to pay extra just for returning a movie a day late. This frustration created the perfect opportunity for a new competitor. And that competitor was Netflix. Netflix introduced a completely different system. Customers could keep DVDs as long as they wanted. There were no late fees. Once they returned the movie, they would receive the next one in their queue. This simple change made the experience far more convenient. Customers no longer had to rush to return movies. And they no longer feared unexpected fees. Blockbuster eventually realized this was a huge problem. So in 2005, they made a dramatic decision. They eliminated late fees. At first, customers were excited. But the decision had an unexpected consequence. Blockbuster suddenly lost hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. And the company was already struggling financially. Removing late fees hurt the business even more. At the same time, streaming technology kept improving. More households gained access to faster internet. Netflix invested heavily in streaming technology. Blockbuster, however, was still focused on physical stores. Those stores required massive operating costs. Rent, employees, inventory, maintenance. The business model that once made Blockbuster powerful was now slowing them down. Meanwhile, Netflix was growing rapidly. Without physical stores, their costs were much lower. They could focus entirely on technology and customer experience. This gave them a huge advantage. By the time Blockbuster tried to compete in streaming, Netflix already dominated the market. Today, the difference between the two companies is enormous. Netflix is now worth hundreds of billions of dollars. It produces movies, series, and global entertainment. Blockbuster, on the other hand, has only one remaining store. Located in Bend, Oregon. It now survives mostly as a tourist attraction. A symbol of a once powerful company that failed to adapt. The story of Blockbuster is now studied in business schools around the world. It shows how quickly industries can change. And how dangerous it can be to ignore innovation. Even the biggest companies can fall. Especially when a smaller, smarter competitor is willing to challenge the status quo. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.